Please bear with me. I am from the 1900s. East Boston Stadium is where we are tonight on the Blue Sox Baseball Network here on YouTube. Audio-only broadcast due to technical limitations with the not exactly the best setup for a number of reasons for a video broadcast here at Eastie. But we are ready for Game 1 of the 2024 Intercity League semifinals between the number 4 seed Middlesex Expos and the number 1 seed Lexington Blue Sox. Good evening, everybody. Sam Feely here with you, ready to bring you the play-by-play story. There was a question on our end whether we would be able to do a live stream of any kind, audio or video, and also whether we would be able to get Chris set up to do PA, but it looks like he sounds like he's about ready to go. He's just paused the music. But there's also been a little bit of a delay before the start of the game because of the condition of the pitching mound here at East Boston Stadium. And unfortunately, we've had these issues also with our speakers where it's only where Chris's announcements are only coming in on one speaker, and that speaker's pointing down towards the Blue Sox dugout, alas. But this is a Blue Sox home game at East Boston Stadium where the Middlesex Expos play a good portion of their home games. The Expos coming off an 8-6 win over the Stoneham Sabres in the wild card game last night. And importantly, as far as the Blue Sox concerned, they dodged their ace, Luis Cespedes, who got the Expos the win, led them to the win last night with another strong pitching performance. Cespedes, who pitched 2 no-hitters in the span of his final 3 regular season starts. Expos had to hang on for dear life against the Sabres, but here they are in the semifinals, and the Expos and the Blue Sox meeting in the ICL playoffs for the 3rd time in the Expos' 4 years in the league. And here's the starting lineup for the Middlesex Expos. They will be in the powder blues with the red shoulders and Expos in red script. It'll be Ryan Patrone leading it off at short, followed by Idelson Taveras in center. John Batista is the extra hitter. Leon Paulino is in left. Eduardo Soto is the DH. Ryan Cloutier is in right. Manny Castro is at third. Jose Paulino is at first. Lucas Rincon is behind the plate. And Michael Oliveira rounds out the lineup at second base with Dan Shaw, who took the loss in a complete game effort in the last regular season meeting between these two teams last week at Minuteman Tech. Again, 3-2 Blue Sox victory, but pitched very well. Retired 9 in a row, 1 point after the Blue Sox had gotten out to a 3-0 lead. And the Blue Sox will send, for their starting lineup, Jake McElroy out in right field, followed by Ryan Grace at first. Nick Anderson is in center. Julian Alvarez is the DH. Anderson Jimenez is at third. Charlie Walsh is at short. Ben Leonard is the extra hitter. Dom Gabardi is in the left. Dylan Walsh is at second. And Max Dushny rounds out the lineup behind the plate with Matt Draper on the mound. The Blue Sox wearing the same uniform they've been wearing all year, which is the navy blue Pete Frates Classic with the red shoulders, numbers, and block letters. Blue Sox won the season series against the Expos 1-0-1. That scoreless 9-inning tie on opening night for the Blue Sox, and then the 3-2 squeaker against the Expos last week at Minuteman. Now, Chris is still announcing the starting lineups for the teams, but while we wait for that, I'll tell you a little bit about the Expos' performance this year overall in the regular season. Luis Cespedes mentioned the Expos' ace this year, tied for the league lead in wins with Matt Draper at 6. He also pitched the second most innings at 46 1/3 innings. Dan Shaw led the league in innings pitched at 51. He was 2-3-2 in the regular season, by the way, Shaw. His record with a 2.61 ERA in 51 innings, allowed 54 hits, 27 runs, 19 of which were earned, walked 15, struck out 63, did not allow a home run, and actually hit 4 batters, surrendered 4 hit batters, whatever. Faced the Blue Sox twice this season and pitched a total of 13 innings, went 0-1-1. Tough break there for Dan against the Blue Sox, but obviously nobody could crack either team's pitchers in that season-opening scoreless tie. Cespedes was the league leader in strikeouts with 70, and Shaw was number 3 at 63. And Draper finished the regular season the league leader in WHIP at .853 and was 5th in the league in innings pitched at 36 1/3. Mentioned tied with Cespedes for the league lead in wins and was 2nd in the league in ERA at .77 behind Silas Reed, the Andre Chiefs, who I assume will be getting the start tonight in Game 1 against the Melrose Americans. That series is happening over at Maplewood. Batting-wise, well, the Expos, I mentioned John Batista, 2nd in the league in batting average at .440 and an OPS of .1236. But that Chiefs-American series is going to be interesting because when you look at the league leaders in hitting, Melrose really clogs up the leaderboard with names like Chris Klein and Pat Costigan and John Jennings. As far as the Blue Sox and the Expos are concerned, no Blue Sox or Expo led the league in any major statistical category except for Idelson Taveras, who led the league with 14 steals in 16 attempts. Nick Anderson, though, the number 3 hitter in the Blue Sox lineup tonight, he was tied for 2nd, 11 out of 13. Blue Sox are just about ready to take the field again. This is their home game, Game 1 of the semifinals. Game 2 scheduled for tomorrow night, where, well, we haven't determined a venue yet. Tomorrow night, as you might expect, the Chiefs and Americans will play Game 2 at Morelli, but hopefully we can avoid the worst of the rain-heavy forecast the rest of this week and get the semifinals under wraps sooner rather than later. And any and all delays, any postponements in this series specifically work in the Expos' favor because we know what a role Cespedes has been on to close the season, how great he's been all year. And the sooner the Blue Sox can wrap up this series, if they do wrap it up, the less chance they will have to stare down the barrel of Luis Cespedes. Although I wouldn't put it past the Expos. I mean, say the Blue Sox win games 1 and 2 tonight and tomorrow night. That's a tough spot for the Expos to be in. You're not going to run out Cespedes on 2 days rest, are you? Maybe for an inning or two towards the end if the game's close. But the Blue Sox need to pounce on Shaw and whoever the Expos might send out tomorrow night as well. Blue Sox pitching depth is one of the things that works in their favor for the Expos. Maybe a little top-heavy, arguably, when you look at their, who does the heavy lifting for their pitching staff. Dan Shaw and Luis Cespedes combined for more than half of the innings logged by Expos pitchers this year. 168 total, and 97 1/3 of them by Shaw and Cespedes. The Blue Sox take the mound, led by Matt Draper, and we are getting ready for playoff baseball. 3 umpires in the game tonight, first, third, and home. We are for the same file as opposed to the 2 that we usually have in the regular season. Draper is a quick worker with he's a tall guy with not that long of a stride, but also a quick release. And, he will try to control the tempo. And if he gets into a rhythm, you can call time all you want if you're a batter, but it will be hard to knock him out of his rhythm too much. So getting on base is mission number one for the Expos offense. Draper did not face the Expos in the regular season. 6-1 with one save and a .771 ERA in 36 1/3 innings. Allowed 22 hits, 7 runs, 4 of which are earned, walked 9, struck out 43, hit 2 batters, and threw 1 wild pitch. Pitched 1 inning against East Boston in the regular season finale on August 2nd. Did not allow a hit or a run, walked 1 and struck out 1. His longest outing of the season was against Palmer on June 28th. That was a tightly contested ball game. They needed every inning out of Draper that they did, and they got the win in 6 innings, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, 7 Ks. Hasn't won a game since July 8th, unless you count the resumption of the game suspended and then resumed against the Andre Chiefs. Given suspended on June 20th. All right, here we go. Ryan Patrone settles into the box. We're ready for some baseball. First pitch is fouled off. We're underway. 8-10 is the first pitch. Strike 1, righty against righty matchup. Ryan Patrone, the shortstop for the Middlesex Expos, leading things off. 0-1 is the count to Patrone, who only played in 9 games in the regular season, but batted .280 in those games. He fouls that one off, and he is behind 0-2. We at least have the score bug for you, so you're not completely in the dark, folks. Always putting the viewers first. So kind of us, right? 0-2 the count to Patrone, 284, 19, 520 is slash line in 9 games, 25 at-bats. Check swing fouled off. 1 double, 1 triple, 1 homer, and 4 ribbies for Patrone with 5 walks to just 3 strikeouts and 5 of 5 in stolen base attempts. Went 1 for 4 in the game against the Blue Sox on August 1st at Minute Man. Hit the other way down the line in right, and that is going to get down for a leadoff base hit. Bobbled in right field, but Patrone will put on the brakes. It's a leadoff single for the Expos. I'm sorry, John, but the mic only works with one speaker for whatever reason. Strike taken by Taveras. The count is 0-1. Edelson Taveras, 14 games in the regular season, 316, 500, 447 to slash line. Slaps this one to second. Only play will be to first to get the speedy Taveras. 1 down, and to second goes Patrone. So routine ground out. Has 1 out with a runner in scoring position for John Batista. Does he have another playoff Batista bomb in him? Batista in 19 games, 1236 OPS, 2 doubles, 3 triples, 1 homer, 16 ribbies, 14 walks. Takes a strike from Draper on the fastball, 0-1. Patrone getting his lead off of second base, moving back and forth, and the pitch is fouled into the screen for strike 2. Batista 1 for 3 with an RBI in the game against the Blue Sox on August 1st, and was 0 for 2 with a walk and a strikeout all the way back on June 3rd. Swing and a miss. Fastball blown by Batista for strike 3. 2 down. So here's Leon Paulino, the left fielder. And time is granted here as Patron had to, relace his cleat there, but not too much of an interruption. And Paulino settling into the batter's box right against lefty, outside for ball 1. Paulino only played in 6 games in the regular season, was 5 for 13 of those 6 games with a home run and 4 ribbies, 1044 OPS. Expos were without a lot of their key offensive contributors much of the regular season, coming back to the squad late in the season, and that's probably the best. And, as good as they were, throughout the season, coming back at the right time to ensure playoff positioning. Got the win over Stoneham last night. Now 1-1 count to Paulino. 2 down here in the top of the first. Draper looks at second and comes home with it, and it's fouled off. 1-2. East Boston Stadium. This is actually the first time that the Blue Sox are playing a game at East Boston Stadium since July 6th, 2010. The Blue Sox had 2 games scheduled to be played here at Eastie during the regular season, one against the Expos and one against the East Boston Knights. Those both got rained out and got made up on back-to-back days at Minuteman and LHS. Up the middle, fielded at second, on to first, and despite the leadoff single by Patron, the Expos come up empty. Half an inning in the books, Expos nothing, and the Blue Sox coming up. Mentioned, already gave you the Blue Sox and Expos starting line. Mention Dan Shaw's numbers. And again, this is the 3rd time in the 4 seasons the Expos franchise has been in the ICL that the Blue Sox and Expos have met in the postseason. Championship Series in 21 and 22. And the semifinals here this year. Blue Sox winning in 21, Expos winning in 22. Really, this series could not be much more even. In the regular season, the Blue Sox lead the all-time series 8-7-1. So through the first 3 years in the regular season, this was 7-7 aside. Blue Sox pushing just above 500 there with the tie and the win this season by the slimmest of margins, too. 3-2, that one win. But that win was crucial because after the blowout of Eastie the following night, the Blue Sox Americans game in Morelia scheduled for Sunday got rained out, and it was not necessary. The Blue Sox had wrapped up their number 1 seed in the ICL playoffs, and all the playoff seeds were locked by that time, so no need. Department of Redundancy department, right? All right, Shaw is ready to go as Rincon fires the ball to second, and the Blue Sox take their first cuts of the 2024 postseason. Jake McElroy, Ryan Grace, and Nick Anderson due up here in the bottom of the first. And if anyone gets on, the veteran, Julian Alvarez. McElroy, the right fielder, to lead things off here in the bottom of the first against the right-hander, Dan Shaw. League leader in innings pitched was Shaw, and he's got a strong fastball, and he gets it in there for strike 1. 0-1 is the count to Jake McElroy. Talk about the Expos getting some key contributors back in the lineup at the right time. Well, Blue Sox lost a lot of several key contributors over the course of the season. That's out on the outside edge for a strike, 0-2, but replaced them with just players who are just as good. I mean, Maisel and Luter's down with injuries. Mitch McCabe going to the Prospects League. That's popped up foul and out of play. Will remain 0-2, but McElroy, Ryan Grace returning to the team, Dom Gabardi, and some guys who didn't get a whole lot of playing time early in the season, just weren't on the roster to begin the season and have filled those gaps nicely. But, of course, you got Nick Anderson in the middle of the lineup, too. There's a line drive over the leaping shortstop into left center field for a base hit. McElroy thought about second, puts on the brakes with a leadoff single. So both sides leading off their first inning with a line drive single. But can the Blue Sox capitalize where the Expos did not? Here is Ryan Grace. Grace played in 3 games of the regular season, including the 20-0 drubbing of the base at West Roxbury. He's ahead in the count 1-0. He was 3 for 6 in those 3 games, the aforementioned home run, 3 RBIs, and a double. Swing and a miss, and the count is 1-1. McElroy played in 10 games. He was 2 for 3 in stolen base attempts, in case you're wondering if he's going to be inclined to run here. A little dribbler will be fielded by the pitcher. Shaw fires on to first, and again, a similar start to this inning. A ground out that gets the leadoff man to second. This one goes 1-3. Grace is retired. And now here is Nick Anderson. McElroy, by the way, finished the regular season 333, 412, 533 slash line with 1 double, 1 triple, 1 homer, 3 ribbies, 4 walks. 10 hits in 10 games and 30 at-bats. And here is Nick Anderson. The Blue Sox offensive juggernaut here with an OPS of 1088, 333, 455, 633 is the slash line, 11 of 13 in steals, 2 doubles, 5 triples, 2 home runs, and 22 ribbies. I don't remember ever playing music during mound visits, Chris. And I don't know if I would have played Let It Rock over, I don't know, the Jeopardy theme, but whatever. Anyways, 1 down, a runner in scoring position for Nick Anderson, who takes strike 1. And Shaw stepping off here. Now he comes set. Looking at second, and the pitch misses for a ball. Count is 1-1 to Anderson with a crosswind right now, blowing from the first base line to the third base line. I can feel because I am down the first base line right now where you're set up here at East Boston Stadium. Anderson lets this one go down low. No advance by McElroy, and the count is 2-1 to Nick Anderson. No, doesn't appear to be a fence here in the outfield, and basically you got I guess fans underneath a soccer net, and right at the very edge of like cavernous outfield. It's almost like Victory Field in Watertown where the Reds played for all those years. 2-2 is the count. That's on the outside corner. But the center fielder right now for the Expos, Taveras, is super deep, like way deeper than he would be if he was at LHS. It is a full count to Anderson as that goes down low, with Julian Alvarez due up next. Shaw accepts the sign. 3-2 upcoming. Here it is. That's at the knees for strike 3 called. Anderson had pitched the bat, was ready to go to first, but got the bad news. 2 down. right at the knees for the huge called third strike there. Tough call. Could have gone either way, but Anderson got the bad news. 2 down. Here is Julian Alvarez, the designated hitter. Shaw delivers, and Alvarez takes low for ball 1. It's easy for me to say there's way deeper. It's hard to visualize some of these outfield dimensions, but 1-1 is the count. That's on the outside corner to Jules. Fastball upstairs. 2-1. Now against the lefties, Shaw would throw changeups generally when he needed to get out of dodge in a tough spot. Runners on base. That bounces to the plate, and easy trot to third for McElroy on the wild pitch. The count is 3-1 with Anderson Jimenez due up next. Alvarez, 235, 409, 412 slash line the regular season, takes ball 4. He took 10 walks in 15 games in the regular season, had 3 doubles, 1 homer, and 12 ribbies. So first and third with 2 down for Anderson Jimenez, who has been swinging a hot bat down the home stretch of the season. He'll take a strike there, and it is 0-1. Anderson, 317, 386, 444 slash line. Grounds this one to short, fielded there, flip to second for the force, and that retires the side. The Blue Sox get 1 hit, no runs, and leave 2. 1 inning in the books, no score. And to further the point before we take a quick break, when I say Anderson has been swinging a hot bat as the season has worn on, in 22 games he had 20 hits, 317 batting average, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Over his 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. 13 of his 20 hits came in his final 8 games. Had just 7 hits through his first 14, and really put an exclamation point on that in the win against East Boston to close out the regular season. Going 3 for 5 with 2 doubles, 2 ribbies, 3 runs scored. Alassi grounds into a fielder's choice there and scoreless through 1. Soto, Cloutier, and Castro due up for the Expos here in the top of the second against Matt Draper. Soto, the designated hitter, takes a strike, 0-1. From the same spot where Anderson got the bad news in his at-bat. Popped up. And caught in foul territory by the first baseman, Grace, for out number 1. Dush was coming over straight towards me. I was wondering, do I have to cover up my stuff? All right, so Soto is retired. Not much incident. One down, and here is Ryan Cloutier, the right fielder. I'm talking about Soto, Shaw and Cespedes doing the bulk of the Expos pitching work this season. Cloutier logged the third most innings on the Expos at 12 1/3 in 6 appearances. Got 2 wins, in fact. That runs inside. That'll be a ball, and the count will be 1-1. Cloutier at the plate this year, 314, 398, 543 is slash line with 4 doubles, 3 triples, 2 homers, 11 ribbies, 10 walks, and 7 of 7 in steals, but he is behind 1-2 here after that last swing and miss. Was 1 for 2 with a walk against the Blue Sox last week, but he grounds one to second, swallowed up there on to Grace. 2 up, 2 down. And Cloutier went 1 for 4 with a strikeout in the 9-inning scoreless tie at the beginning of the season. So it'll be up to Manny Castro to try and keep the line moving. Castro, the third baseman, takes down and away for ball 1. He played in 3 games of the regular season and was 1 for 3 in those 3 games. 1-0 is the count to Castro. 2-0. Jose Paulino wearing the captain's C on his chest, due up next. As Draper, a little bit of a rock before he fires. Works, I guess that's technically working from the stretch, even with nobody on. Last pitch was fouled off into the screen. It'll be 2-1. Little chopper to the left side. Jimenez charging, scoops it, and does not pick it up cleanly. So the inning will continue as Castro reaches. That was a tough play. I would imagine it's going to be a base hit as opposed to an E5. And continues for the aforementioned Jose Paulino. Paulino, 20 games, 173, 274, 269 his numbers in the regular season. 5 doubles out of his 9 hits, though, and 13 RBIs. So he makes those hits count when he cashes in. He's behind 0-1. Not many guys have more RBIs in a season than they do hits, but again, Paulino cashing in where he needed to. 8 walks as well. Driven into left center field. Again, this is a cavernous outfield, but it is caught by Anderson for the out that retires the side. And nothing comes of the 2-out infield single by Castro, and we are through a buck and a half. Still scoreless. As we go to the bottom of the second inning, It will be Charlie Walsh, Ben Leonard, and Dom Gabardi due up for the Blue Sox against Dan Shaw. Shaw, last year in the postseason, as the Sabretooth Expos eventually fell to the Andre Chiefs in the championship series, went 1-1 with one save and a 1.50 ERA in 14 innings, allowed 11 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, and 6 Ks. Walsh is behind 0-1 on a called strike. Grounds this one, knocked down on the mound by Shaw, who flips on to first for out number 1. Talking about the condition of the mound earlier, whether it would be suitable for play, Brandon Anderson bringing out a lot of dirt because it's effectively a turf base. It's not all dirt. Like, it's a turf base, and then they throw dirt on top of it. But obviously, it can be an issue for pitchers just while pitching. But you got to come off the mound for PFP. 1-0 is the count to Ben Leonard, the extra hitter. Walsh retired relatively easily. Leonard up the middle and through for a base hit. Leonard, 333, 512, 433 in the regular season with 10 hits. And picks up his first career postseason hit there. His first career postseason at bat with the Blue Sox. So 1 on with 1 out for Dom Gabardi, who fouls this one off over our heads for strike 1. Gabardi, another Blue Sox youngin', making his postseason debut. A lot of guys getting Interstate League postseason experience for the first time this series, but a lot of young guys on this roster, but they have come to play, that is for sure. Wrapped up the number 1 seed, eked out the Chiefs down the stretch to secure it, but Gabardi here, down 1-2. 421, 577, 789. Gabardi's slash line in 10 games, 19 at-bats, 2 doubles, 1 homer, 1 triple, 5 ribbies, 5 walks. Runner goes, throw down to second on a hop is not in time. Swing and a miss, retires Gabardi on strikes, but a stolen base for Ben Leonard, and the Blue Sox with another runner in scoring position, but Brandon Anderson going out to the coming out to the umpire to ask about a possible maybe interference call, but I'm not sure if Brand's going to get the news the ruling he wants here, but whatever. Okay. Well, I don't know if you can you not ask for help on a batter's interference calls, all his call? All right, fair enough. Okay, well, Leonard is at second after that stolen base with 2 down for Dylan Walsh. Checks his swing, appeal, and he went around, says the infield umpire, for strike 1. So Shaw with his second strikeout, and now Dylan Walsh behind in the count, 0-1. Dylan, 368, 520, 500, his slash line of the regular season. Takes the ball there, outside, 1-0. Walsh with 5 doubles, 6 ribbies, and 11 walks to just 6 Ks. Swings and skies this one into right center field, and it'll be caught for the out that retires the side by the right fielder Cloutier, and once again the Blue Sox get a hit but leave a runner in scoring position. Through 2, no score. As we go to the top of the third, it's interesting to know that we see a lot of instances of the Blue Sox playing road games in Lexington, either at LHS or, of course, Minuteman. This is a rare instance of the Blue Sox playing a home game at someone else's field. This would be East Boston. This is the fourth different field that the Blue Sox and Expos have played a postseason game, none of which have been at LHS, by the way. Could change by the time this series is over, though, depending, of course, on the weather. We're clear right now, just a breeze, although there might be more rain on the way later tonight, as it's currently 0-2, the count right now to Lucas Rincon, to be followed by Michael Oliveira and Ryan Patrone. A couple of foul-offs so far by Lucas. And he'll foul that one off. I'll foul off into the screen here in the early going by the Expos batters, trying to time up Draper's fastball. This is the fourth different field that the Blue Sox and Expos have played a playoff game against each other, none of which have been LHS, as I said. East Boston Stadium, the championship series games we've seen at Morelli. There's also been Victory Field and Pine Banks. I have feelings about Pine Banks, but that's for another show. 0-2 is the count. Oftentimes, folks, when I'm unable to do a stream of these games, it's not for lack of me caring. Circumstances beyond our control. Like, I'm using the phrase technical limitations here as another foul off by Rincon. Great battle here. Still down 0-2, but really making Draper earn this first out of the top of the third if he is going to get it. See what happens here on 0-2. Well, now it's the Blue Sox turn to get up close and personal with a foul ball off the battering cone. What a battle here early on. Again, 0-2. Rincon has not taken a pitch yet in this at-bat. Everything's been fouled off. I like that one, too. What is this? His vision rating is way above 125 in MLB this show. What the hell? 0-2 is the count. still to Rincon. Oh, swing and a miss and a pitch downstairs and a throw down to first to complete the strikeout. Valiant effort, but you know, if you're not going to get on base, least you can do is make the pitcher earn it. And by God, he did. That was a long at bat. Rincon did not take a pitch, spoiled basically everything Draper had to offer, and eventually came up empty on that strike three. So one down, and here is Oliveira. Second baseman swings and misses for strike one. And that hit him. Well, I'm sure that's not how Draper envisioned allowing a base runner, but Oliveira with his .224 batting average and .324 on base percentage of the regular season will take that any way you can get it. But obviously, you plunk the number 10 hitter, and then that turns over the lineup for Patron and Taveras and Batista waiting in the wings. Things could get interesting here. Oliveira is 1 for 1 this season in stolen base attempts. Was 5 of 6 for the Merrimack Valley Expos in 2022. And looks like Patron wants some pine tar here. Those 5 were a career high, tied with Oliveira's experience with several teams in various leagues, including the Yawkey League and the ICL and the CABL. But here is Patron, who is 1 for 1, led off this ball game with a single. One and one is the count now to Patron. Oliveira, after getting plunked on an 0-1 pitch, for a long battle by Rincon for the first out. Oliveira at first, now a 2-1 count. That is down and away to Patron. Draper looks at first, coming set. And coming home with it with a bit of a slide step into right field, and that will be caught for out number 2, and able to get back to first in time is Oliveira. So 2 down, Patron is 1 for 2, and here is Taveras. Taveras with a ground out to second, his first time up. One that did get Patron into scoring position, but the Expos could not cash in. See if they can do so here with 2 down in a scoreless ball game. Game 1 of the Intercity League semifinals, best of 5. Game 2 scheduled for tomorrow night. Game 3 Thursday. Game 4, if necessary, Friday. And Game 5, if necessary, Sunday. Draper delivers. Popped up, fouling out of play, and the count will be 0-2. John Batista looming in the on-deck circle if Taveras can extend the inning. He's also looming in my line of sight, man. Hey, down in front. Popped up. Where's this one going? Dushney over towards the third base bleachers. And took a funny ricochet there after it bounced. I didn't know if that hit somebody, but nobody's worse for the wear, and we'll do it again at 0-2. Look, I can't dictate where the on-deck circle is. I just don't want you to have an Adrian Beltre moment, you know? 0-2 is the count. Pitches a ball, throw down to second, goes into center field, but no further advance by Patron. By Oliveira. A stolen base, 1-2. Max Dushney and the rest of the Blue Sox catching corps have been so good at throwing out runners this season, but Oliveira able to get in there with a stolen base in scoring position with a 1-2 count to Taveras. Looking at second, coming home with it is Draper. This is grounded to the right side, swallowed up at second and on to first. And once again, Draper and the Blue Sox get out of Dodge unharmed. 2.5 in the books, and still zeros. Ten, 1, and 2 due up for the Blue Sox here in the bottom of the third. Max Duchney swings the first pitch and fouls it off. The other way for strike one, 0-1. He'll be followed by Jake McElroy and Ryan Grace. That's in there for a strike, and the count will be 0-2. Dush takes that one, bouncing at the plate, and the count will be 1-2. Dush with a .207 batting average, but a .500 on base percentage in the regular season, but takes strike three there. 1 up, 1 down here in the bottom of the third. Third strikeout now for Dan Shaw. The lineup turns over for McElroy, who led off the bottom of the first with a base hit. And Shaw starting to get in a groove here. It is 0-1. Looked like might have been outside, but late strike call puts McElroy behind 0-2. Shaw delivers, and once again, bouncing to the plate here. Feel like we saw that on the 0-2, didn't we? And he was trying to, he was coming over the top too much on maybe a curveball or something. That one misses down and away, 2-2, because righty on righty, certainly. I'm going to probably lean on a breaking ball to try and get a batter fishing than a changeup. 2-2 now the count to McElroy, and he fouls that one off. A good battle here by McElroy to get from 0-2 to 2-2 and spoil a fastball from Shaw. Blue Blue Sox with no runs on 2 hits to this point. Same for the Expos. No extra base hits yet. All 4 hits this game are singles. Full count now to McElroy's. The last one missed outside. And that's in there for strike 3 call, and he's left shaking his head, 2 down. Back-to-back Ks to start the bottom of the 3rd here for Shaw, and the difference between the role he's on now and the role he got on last Thursday, he fell behind before he got on that run of 9 consecutive retired. Grounder to the right side by Grace, and a 1-2-3 inning for Dan Shaw. He has retired 5 in a row. We are through 3, still scoreless. Heart of the order due up for the Expos as we go to the top of the 4th. Batista, Paulino, and Soto against Matt Draper. Again, both teams with 2 hits to this point. All 4 hits in this game, singles. Matt Draper, the first 3, the 2 singles, plus a hit batsman, and 2 strikeouts. Batista to lead things off. 3, 4, and 5 of the Expos order due up. Batista struck out swinging his first time up. Draper delivers, and that'll be in there for strike 1. The count is 0-1. Chopper foul up the 3rd base line. The count will be 0-2 to Batista. Batista last couple of years of the Andre Chiefs, no stranger to postseason heroics. Well, broken bat looper to second, picked up on a hop onto first, and able to keep his foot on the bag is Grace to receive that high throw from the second baseman Dylan Walsh, and he is retired for out number 1. As I mentioned during the Expos Blue Sox game last year during Batista's home run in Game 3 of the championship series, I did the Dave Bautista Give Me What I Want promo for the home run call, as fielded nicely by Grace to the pitcher, covering the bag for out number 2. Leon Paulino is robbed on a play that sent Walsh way towards the first base line and Grace way towards second base, but great reactions by Draper to get back and cover the bag to complete the 3-1 putout. And now Soto is behind 0-1 on that swing and miss. Ainsley, but, whoa, nearly came and got. So that was a ball, 1-1. I'm sure the Expos bench is going to tell him, wear it. But yeah, Dave Bautista in that Give Me What I Want promo basically just only said, give me what I want over and over because he forgot his lines. And is down away 2-1. But he has had one of the best wrestler to actor career transitions of all time. So I guess forgetting his lines isn't too much of a problem anymore. Fly ball into right, camping under it, and making the catch is McElroy for the out that retires the side. We are halfway home and still scoreless. Shades of June 3rd, if I do say so myself. And we go to the bottom of the fourth. Dan Shaw starting to get on a roll here. He is retired 5 in a row. But now he has to face the heart of the Blue Sox order, 3, 4, and 5. Anderson, Alvarez, and Jimenez. He got Anderson looking his first time up. Bottom of the fourth as Shaw comes set. And the first pitch is swung on and missed for strike one. Well, guy who has such a good fastball, you want to try and jump on the first pitch and out in front of a changeup there, and it is 0-1. That fastball is up high, and the count will even at 1. Anderson, 2 homers and 22 ribbies this season. And remember that 12 of those ribbies came in the span of 2 games back in June. They're for the first month plus of the ICL regular season, Anderson, as he's behind 1-2 on the last swing and miss, a bit of a streaky hitter, but became much more consistent towards the end of the regular season. And well, obviously you can't extrapolate 6 RBIs a game to the entire even 25 game season. He's been a phenomenal producer at the plate, and he's also 11 of 13 in stolen base attempts. Last pitch is fouled off, so even when there isn't anyone on base, he doesn't have to crush it over the fence or anything. You just get on base and work your magic and let the guys behind you, don't drive you in. See if that'll be the case here. 2-2 the count to Anderson, and the pitch is swung on and missed for strike 3. Fastball blown by the Blue Sox center fielder. Anderson is down on strikes for the second time tonight, but that is one thing now that Anderson has been a little bit more susceptible to in the last handful of games. The strikeout had 0 for 3 with 3 Ks, I believe, against Shaw. Wore the hat trick last Thursday. But here is Alvarez. He drew a walk his first time up. And Alvarez takes down and away for ball 1. So it'll be strikeout number 5 now for Shaw through 3 1/3 innings. Alvarez and then Jimenez. If anyone gets on, Charlie Walsh. Alvarez takes strike 1 on the outside corner, and the count is 1-1. A lot of these Expos players also have experience in the Yawkey League including Michael Oliveira, playing at this field. 1-2 is the count. Oliveira played for the McKay Club Beacons, also the East Boston Knights. For most of the Blue Sox players, this is actually their first time playing a competitive game here. 2-2 is the count. Mention that the last time that the Blue Sox played a game at East Boston State, it was July 6th, 2010. Now, the East Boston / Testacore Bombers were a team in this league for a couple more years after that, but the Blue Sox never ended up playing another game, another ICL game in this park after, again, this is the first time playing here in 14 years in a game that counts. Scheduled to play 2 earlier this season, both got rained out and got moved to back-to-back days in Lexington in the end. Fouled off by Joel's count is full, 3-2. Number of former Blue Sox, number of former Bombers ended up joining the Blue Sox after the Bombers folded. Oh, wow. Alvarez called out on strikes on a pitch that jackknifed him. And his strikeout number 6 now for Shaw on a called third strike, no less. Again, on a pitch that looked to get up under Alvarez's hands. Not quite happy about it. But 2 up, 2 down. Now 7 in a row, retired by Shaw. And here is Jimenez. Jimenez swings at the first pitch and fouls it off for strike 1. Now, Shaw, I would never accuse him of being, a deliberately slow worker, but I don't think he's exactly the Mark Burley speed runner type that I would say Draper's a little closer to. But if you need to do something to get him out of his rhythm, you might have to call time sooner rather than later. But Jimenez, even in the count now, 1-1, grounded into a fielder's choice his first time up. Now, that fielder's choice ended the bottom of the first. And now Jimenez, 2-1. I think the thing that's preventing the Blue Sox from trying to, call time and get Shaw out of his rhythm is that, Shaw hasn't looked unbeatable right now. Yeah, he's retired 7 in a row. But, he's not, dotting the zone with every single pitch. You've seen some pitches bounce. You've seen some pitches go high. It doesn't seem impossible. You just got to find your pitch and hope you can find it. But you got to find it sooner rather than later. 2-2 the count now, that after that last foul off by AJ, and the pitch, and there's another one that bounced about 5 feet in front of the plate too, and the count is full. So again, I think Shaw's trying to get on top of a breaking ball there to try and get Jimenez fishing, and was unsuccessful. 3-2 pitch, here it is, fouled off. Like I said during the Rincon at bat, worst case scenario, wear down the pitcher, turn into a war of attrition. 3-2 again. Shot foul over towards the Blue Sox dugout. Knowing that the Expos already ran out Cespedes last night, you got Shaw tonight. And then no other pitcher in the regular season for the Expos pitched more than 12 1/3 innings. Again, another foul off. This is the kind of at-bat you need in this situation if you're the Blue Sox. Even if you don't get on base, trying to wear down Shaw. Especially if Draper can have a quick inning next inning, get him back out there sooner than he'd like, I guess. 3-2 again. Here it comes. Again, fouled off. Oh, man. Might be the at-bat of the night. It's going to be a pivotal at-bat. Again, even if AJ doesn't get on base here. See how it pans out, though. Still got to determine the result of this at-bat. 3-2 again. Here it is. Little broken bat grounder past Shaw. Charged by the shortstop. Fire on to first. And a pick at first gets the out. Jose Paulino with the pick after the running scoop by Patron. After got past Shaw, and the side is retired. We are through 4, still scoreless. Indeed, as John Batista asking about the trying to get some requests on the playlist. I don't have the time right now, my man. Our home game. Count your blessings. A little bit of variance from the usual, monotonous, same bass line, same lyrics, same chord progression, pop country. But a first pitch plunking of Ryan Cloutier puts the leadoff man aboard for the Expos in the top of the fifth. Well, again, not sure that's what Draper was looking for there. And we'll see if we're going to go into small ball mode here. Manny Castro had a base hit his last time up, but he's going to try and lay one down here. First, a check of Cloutier over at first, and he is back safely. So Castro, again, single his last time up. Expos get the leadoff man on one pitch. Just a hit by pitch of Cloutier. There's the bunt, but it's fouled into the screen for strike one. A long at bat to end the bottom of the fourth by Jimenez results in a close play, but for sure an out. A ground out for Jimenez, 6-3. Can the Expos maybe get a long inning here and give Shaw a chance to breathe? Swing and a miss. Throw down to second. He got him. 2-6 on the caught stealing. Charlie Walsh stumbling a bit there as he fielded the throw from Dushney, but also stumbling a bit there was Cloutier. He is caught stealing, and the count is 0-2 with one down now, and the base is empty. And fouled into the screen. Huge play there for the Blue Sox to wipe out the first pitch hit by pitch. And now 0-2 still to Castro after the last foul off. Dushney with another caught stealing. Here it is. Swing and a miss, strike three. Two down as Draper picks up his third strikeout. And here is Jose Paulino, the first baseman who flew out to center his first time up. Draper comes set, and the pitch is swung on and missed for strike one. Sometimes you just need a little extra motivation to get your groove back after a mistake, and going to make the batters pay for it, right? 0-1, swing and a miss. 0-2, got him with the off-speed stuff there. Rincon on deck if we get that far, but Paulino behind the count right now. 0-2. Strike three called. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Jose Paulino. The side is retired. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Draper. He's up to 4, and a huge caught stealing of Cloutier ensures that he faces the minimum, and we are still scoreless through 4.5. Well, Charlie Walsh, no worse for the wear after a little bit of a stumble there, but completing the caught stealing of Ryan Cloutier in the top half this fifth inning. He'll lead things off, and he'll be followed by Ben Leonard and Dom Gabardi, and he's able to hold up for ball one. Walsh with a comebacker to Shaw, who's back out there on the mound to start the bottom of the fifth. His first time up, and Shaw delivers. Fastball in there. 4 strike 1. Well, you plunk the first batter of the inning. Worry that maybe could be that long inning that the Expos needed to give Shaw a breather, especially those prolonged last couple of ABs in the bottom of the fourth. But now he's behind 2-1. He's back out there to start the inning. Not sure if anyone's warming right now for the Expos. Did see some action for the Blue Sox. Here's a grounder to second. Fielded there and on to first. 1 up, 1 down, and Charlie is 0 for 2. Ben Leonard will come to the plate. He was the last Blue Sox base runner. A single and a stolen base his last time up, but since then, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in a row retired by Dan Shaw. Two nothing Chiefs in the bottom of the fifth in game one of that semifinal against the Melrose Americans, and that is in there for strike 1 to Leonard. I misspoke. 9 in a row retired now by Shaw. Not 10, but getting very close to 10 here with Leonard. Shaw settling into it, and the pitch is low for a ball. Again, can't really say in the dirt here on an all-turf infield. 1-2 is the count to Leonard. And he fouls that one off. Oh, boy. I wonder if my windshield's okay. All right. 1-2. Leonard to be followed by Gabardi. If anyone gets on, Dylan Walsh. Shaw comes set. And the pitch. And, again, bounces to the plate. But this one, again, trying to get on top of a pitch you want him to swing and miss. Swing over the top of, but it's a lefty. More likely a change up there, but again, still overthrown a bit. Too late a release. That one's just outside, and the count fills. Longer these at-bats go, you have to figure, the more it favors the Blue Sox. Bottom of the fifth, 3-2. Check swing, but it is a strike 3 anyways, and Leonard is retired. 10 in a row now, retired by Dan Shaw. Seven strikeouts now for Shaw. It'll be up to Gabardi to try and prolong this inning. Outside of the fastball for ball 1 to the right-hander Gabardi. Struck out swing his first time up. Rincon, Oliveira, and Patron due up in the top of the sixth for the Expos. Hitters count 2-0. A rare 2-0 count. It might be the first one tonight. Might be for the Blue Sox. 3-0. Trying to get a view here down the right field line to see if the Expos have anyone warming. You do have a batting cage here, but not exactly a dedicated bullpen, I would say. A 4-pitch walk to Gabardi, and that breaks the string of 10 consecutive retired by Shaw. And we're going to have a pinch hitter here. And Jeff Costello is going to pinch hit for Dylan Walsh. Costello, former ICL batting champ, takes the ball, glances off of Rincone's glove to the backstop, and to second on the pass ball goes Gabardi. So 1-0 to Costello and a runner in scoring position. So Walsh's night ends 0 for 1. As Shaw delivers, there's a little bit of a squat just as that pitch comes to the plate by Costello. Maybe to try and shrink his strike zone. I mean, Ricky Henderson was obviously the master of that. But right now, Costello with a 2-0 count, and Shaw's going to step off for a moment, look the runner back, and trying to see how he can get out of this one with still goose eggs in front of you fine folks. 2-0. Here it is. There's the fastball in there for strike one, 2-1. Pass ball on Rincon. After a 4-pitch walk to Gabardi, puts the go-ahead run in scoring position. 2 down in the bottom of the 5th. Game 1 of this best-of-5 semifinals. 3-1 now to Costello. Costello can run too, but if you let him on, you're going to have to send Gabardi at the same time. You're going to try and let him run wild. Oh, at the knees, strike 2. Great frame there by Rincon. Quick snap there and close pitch, but we saw Anderson got rung up on a similar pitch earlier tonight. Payoff pitch, here it is. Costello comes up empty. Ramping it up when he really needed it is Shaw for the strikeout, and that ends the inning. The Blue Sox cannot capitalize on the 2-out walk or the pass ball. We are through 5, still scoreless. Okay, so as we go to the top of the 6th, Jeff Costello is going to stay in the game and play right field. It will be a straight position swap with Jake McElroy, who stays in the game and moves to second. Costello was an infielder as well his days at LHS. Transitioned more to the outfield during his days at BB&N and then Northeastern with the Blue Sox. So Costello in right, McElroy now at second, and the first pitch of the top of the 6th to Lucas Rincon. That's the first pitch he's taken tonight. It's ball 1. Remarkable battle in his first at-bat. Ended up striking out, but fouled off everything he saw until he ended up swinging and missing at strike 3 downstairs. 1-1 at that last swing and miss. Swings and fouls this one off the other way. The count will be 1-2. Rincon, Oliveira, and Patron due up. here on the top of the sixth, and if anyone gets on, Edelson Taveras. Draper comes set. And the 1-2 brushes Rincon back a bit. The count is 2-2. Draper coming set again, working from the stretch with no runners on base even. And a full count now to begin the inning for Draper. And these are not the guys you want to toy around with. The bottom of the order, and that is the third hit batsman of the game for Draper. A 3-2 pitch. Obviously would have been ball four anyways, but Rincon, it's been a tough out tonight. Eventually gets plunked there to begin the inning. So the second straight inning that the leadoff man gets plunked, but of course we know what happened last inning. Caught stealing of Cloutier, and then Castro and Paulino retired on strikes. Let's see about Oliveira, but first, Brandon Anderson talking to Lucas Rincon at first base, make sure he's good to continue, and obviously you don't like to get a fastball right between the shoulder blades, but c'est la vie when it comes to this game, right? Okay, so Oliveira hit by a pitch and stole a base his last time up. And again, the bottom of the order being tough outs here for Draper. Oliveira's got to square. Did he get plugged? He did! Wow! Back-to-back plunks to begin the top of the sixth of the 9 and 10 hitters, no less. And now the lineup turns over for Ryan Patron. Well, Pat McGowan going to go out and have a conference with the entire Blue Sox infield as the alarm bells sound in the Blue Sox bullpen. Apparently, Draper can't stop hitting batters right now. Back-to-back pitches, no less. Rincon on a 3-2. Very first pitch Oliveira sees trying to square. Ends up getting plunked. I think in the helmet, too. Like it was just the brim. Obviously, it wasn't knocked out cold or anything. But first and second, nobody out to begin the inning for the Expos. A huge chance to steal home field advantage here against the number one seed, the Blue Sox, who had a record of 19-4-1 the regular season, 39 points in just 24 games. Lineup turns over for Patron. Huge chance here. You can go either way with this guy. He might lay one down. He could swing. Okay, gotcha. Okay, gotcha. So Josh Bond is going to pinch run second. The sac bunt is fielded by the pitcher. He gets the out. A 1-4. So Josh Bond pinch running at second for Lucas Rincon is now at third. Oliveira is at second. Patron lays down the sac bunt, 1-4. 2 runners in scoring position with 1 out. The infield comes in for Edelson Taveras. Down and away for ball 1. So you got Bond at third and Oliveira at second. I was also told by Brandon Anderson there's going to be a defensive replacement behind the plate for Bond when we get to the bottom of the sixth. Taveras fouled off. 1-1. Hunter Weissman is going to take over behind the plate defensively. That's in there for a strike. 1-2 to Taveras, who has grounded out twice tonight. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 down. Taveras is 0 for 3. And now John Batista will come to the plate with a huge opportunity here. He's 0 for 2, a strikeout and a ground out. Two runners in scoring position, 2 down in a scoreless game, game 1 of the ICL semifinals. Batista looking for a Batista bomb to end all Batista bombs there. Comes up empty, strike 1. In the bottom of the 6th, Dushney, McElroy, and Grace are due up for the Blue Sox 10-1-2. Driven and caught at second base for the out that retires the side. One of the hardest hit balls of the night by either team, and it's just a line drive to the brand new second baseman, Jake McElroy, coming in from right field after Costello's pinch hit appearance in the bottom of the 5th. We are through 5.5. Say it with me. Still scoreless. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Max Dushney leading things off for the Blue Sox. And Dan Shaw still out there for the Expos. Grounder up the middle, fielded it short onto first quickly. 1 up, 1 down on just 1 pitch. Dushney is out 0 for 2. Lineup turns over for McElroy. Moved from right field to second in that top of the 6th. Caught that screamer of a line drive to end the inning for the Expos, end the threat. Now here he is 1 for 2 on the ball game. He takes low for ball 1. Still looking for a first extra base hit of this ball game. There have been just 2 hits tonight for the Blue Sox. The last being by Ben Leonard. And it's 2-0 now, close pitch there. Hunter Weissman now behind the plate, by the way, for the Expos. String of 10 straight retired before Gabardi walked, but ended up being stranded at second as Costello couldn't bring him home. That's in there for a strike. The count is 2-1. McElroy and then Grace. Anyone gets on? Nick Anderson. Shaw peering in for the sign, comes set, and the pitch. That's in there for a strike, 2-2. McElroy, 1 for 2, single, his first time up, strikeout looking his second time up. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And again, Shaw finding it within himself as this game wears on to neutralize the Blue Sox offense. Just the 2 hits tonight for the Blue Sox, both singles, and the only hits tonight for the Expos are also singles, but they have at least been helped out by 4 hit batsmen to try and keep the line moving, but still no runs yet. Here is Grace. Grace takes strike 1. He is 0 for 2 with a couple of groundouts. In the top of the 7th, it will be Paulino, Soto, and Cloutier, 4, 5, and 6, due up for the Expos. 0-1, fouled off by Grace. The count will be 0-2. Shaw looking for a 1-2-3 inning. The pitch. Buzz the tower big time there. The count is 1-2. Everyone in the Blue Sox dugout is standing. 1-2. Driven into center field, and that will be caught by Taveras for the out that retires the side. Once again, an absolute bullet off the bat, but caught to end the inning. We go to the 7th, still scoreless. We go to the top of the 7th, and assuming Matt Draper gets an out here, it will be his longest outing of the season, passing his 6 innings against Palmer all the way back on June 28th. A swing and a miss to start the top of the 7th. 4, 5, and 6 coming up for the Expos here. Paulino, Soto, and Cloutier. Leon Paulino, 0 for 2 with a couple of groundouts. Fouls this one off, 0-2. I think there has been a single complete game by a Blue Sox starter of 7 innings anyways this season. But, well, Paulino being granted time here. And Draper delivers the 0-2, popped up. On the infield, in comes Charlie to make the catch for out number 1. Yeah, it's audio only, yeah. Yeah, that's it says so on the screen, man. All right. So, Walsh makes the catch. Soto to the plate, couple of pop up to the pitcher, a fly out to right. His 2 times at bat so far. Where? Oh, what? It stayed in front of the fence. Good. It's knocked a few leaves loose, anyways. 0-1 is the count on that last foul ball by Eduardo Soto. Designated hitter for the Expos. Draper settling into it. The 0-1. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Cloutier to follow. And if either Soto or Cloutier get on, Castro would come up to the plate. Draper comes set, the pitch, popped up. All the way over towards the football stadium behind us. Remains 0-2. Draper with a quick pitch and missed down and away. 1-2. Oh, Soto's wondering what happened. But, I mean, if you're the Expos, why wouldn't you take the result of that pitch? A ball, right? You know? Or Soto didn't call time there. Anyways, 1-2. There it is. Yep, it's official. 1-2. And Draper, after a little bit of a talking to from the umpire, delivers, lined into left field, and down for a base hit. The Expos haven't been necessarily been deprived of base runners throughout this battle, but that's their first hit since Castro. And now here's Cloutier. No chance he's going to bunt. Throw back to first. Back safely underneath the tag of Grace is Soto. Soto, for those playing the home game, 2 for 2 in stolen base attempts this year. Another pickoff attempt, didn't get him. Still yet to see a pitch thrown to Cloutier. Obviously, we're playing MLB rules. And you got to get him the next time. That's a balk. Oh! A fastball up and in. Didn't clip Cloutier, but blew his helmet off. Wow. It is 1-0 to Cloutier, who is 0 for 1, has already been plunked by a pitch, and also grounded out to second. Soto with a small lead at first, and this one is swung on and missed by Cloutier for strike one. The count is 1-1. Draper looks at first, looks home, and delivers. Downstairs, 2-1. Castro due up next. Had the last base hit for the Expos before Soto just now. 2-1. Runner does not go. 3-1. Only look low, but seen pitches close to that spot. Called strikes. And one that rung up Anderson in the first. That's in there for strike two. Cloutier took a step towards first. Again, it was close, but I did feel that was a strike from this vantage point. But again, I'm down the first base line. Well, not that far down, closer to the home plate. 3-2. Does a runner go here? Well, first, Cloutier granted time. Send the runner here, 3-2. Dushny's already got one runner tonight. Soto not the biggest base stealing threat, but again, does have 2 in 2 attempts this year. He does not go, and the pitch is fouled off. Do it again at 3-2. Again, Castro due up next for the Expos. Draper comes set. 3-2 again. Runner does not go. That's swung on and missed for strike 3. Ooh. Cloutier with some words towards Draper after that swing and miss. So here is Castro. And that's base hit actually in his first AB. And then struck out swinging his last time. That's in there for a strike. In the bottom of the 7th, the Blue Sox will have Costello, Dushny, and McElroy. Actually, I think I got that wrong. Excuse me. Not Costello. Oh, that was a strike. Certainly not what the Expos thought it was, but I misspoke. It's actually not going to be those bars I just mentioned for the Blue Sox. Oh, 1-2. Not sure if you call that a makeup call or what, but that's what That was a ball, so 1-2 the count now. Draper delivers into right field, sinking fast and caught on a line on the run by the right fielder, Jeff Costello. We go to the bottom of the seventh. It is a chance for the Blue Sox to walk it off. No score after 6.5. Well, as I said when I was correcting myself, it is not Costello or Dushney and McElroy leading off. It's going to be Nick Anderson, Julian Alvarez, and Anderson Jimenez, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters here in Game 1 of the ICL semifinals, best of 5, scoreless through 6.5. Shades of the first meeting of the season between these two teams, all the way back in early June. Anderson thought about laying one down there, but instead pulls back and gets ball 1. Nick is 0 for 2 with 2 Ks, 1 looking, 1 swinging. 2-0. Shaw has been remarkably composed, even when it looks like he may be losing it a little bit, and has found it within himself to get out of some tough spots. 2-0 is the count. Anderson takes high, 3-0. Shaw peering in for the sign, comes set. Had to figure red light was up there for Anderson. He wasn't swinging regardless. That's 3-1 now. This late in the game, the starter's still out there. Oh boy, maybe not again. I don't know. Is he trying to play mind games with you? Trying to push and pull the throttle. It is gone from 3-0 to 3-2 on Anderson, hoping to avoid wearing the hat trick again. Shaw peers in. It's important to get Anderson too, because remember, he's a threat to run, and he swings and misses for strike 3. What a job there by Shaw to come back from 3-0 down against the Blue Sox best offensive player this year to set him down on strikes for the 3rd time. Here is Julian Alvarez, a walk and a called 3rd strike. His first 2 times at bat, and that is a little high for ball 1. Got the called 3rd strike on a pitch that looked like he jackknifed him. He was not happy about the call, understandably so. But, again, Shaw's found it within himself when it matters most. 1-1 is the count. Looked like Shaw had his arms extended for a bit, thinking he wasn't going to get the call, but he very much did, and in a good spot, too, on that last one. 1-1 the count to Alvarez. Jimenez due up next, and then Charlie Walsh, if anyone gets on. Alvarez into center field. Long run by Taveras. He's got it for out number 2. So, 2 up, 2 down. Alvarez giving that one a ride, but the big outfield here, hard to get it out on the fly in that direction. 2 down for Anderson Jimenez, 0 for 2, grounded into a fielder's choice and grounded to second. He's going to try and bunt his way on. He pulled back and will appeal, no swing. It is ball 1, 1-0 to AJ. In the top of the 8th, the Expos are going to send 8, 9, 10 to the plate. Paulino, Weissman, and Oliveira. Jimenez into right center field. That's going to get down for a base hit, and then it gets away from the right fielder. Jimenez turning on the Jets, sliding into second safely. This turf is not as quick as some other turf fields in this league. Jimenez slid a little bit too early there. And nearly got tagged out at second, but got there. Jimenez, assuming that's going to be ruled a double, because the carom of the ball at the turf is what carried away from the right field, not necessarily a misplay by him. That'll be the first extra base hit of this ball game. Brandon Anderson coming out to the to have a talk with the umpire about something, possibly change, or not sure what's going on. Shaw is as puzzled as anyone right now. No changes, it looks like. All right, well, whatever. All right, well, hang on. Now the umpire is going over to Rick DeAngelis to talk about whatever Brandon Anderson was concerned about. I'm not sure what this could be about, but all right. Well, I mean, it could potentially be about the lights, to be fair. I mean, it would not shock me if lights go out here at the same time or sooner than they usually do at LHS. At LHS, usually 10:45. But anyways, Jimenez with a double. Here's Charlie Walsh. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it off for strike 1. Brandon Anderson, as he was walking back towards his dugout after talking to the home plate umpire, saying to his infield, nothing through the infield, because Jimenez could very well score the game-winning run if Charlie does get something through. Here is the 0-1 to Walsh. 1-1. Close pitch, but it was outside of the lefty. Walsh is 0 for 2. Couple of groundouts. Shaw delivers. 2-1. Walk isn't the worst thing in the world. Would give you more ways to get out of the inning. Only runner is at second. Fouled off. Was trying to figure out where that ball ricocheted after it was hit by Charlie. It's fouled off towards the Expos dugout. And the count is 2-2. Is Shaw going to do it again? Is he going to get out of Dodge again? He comes set. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. The side is retired. We go to extras. Still scoreless. Well, still no complete games for a Blue Sox pitcher this year as Draper gives way after 7 innings to Jake Zawatsky. Zawatsky made 5 appearances in the regular season. He had no wins, losses, or ties, and 1 save and a 2.25 ERA. In 9 1/3 innings, allowed 5 hits, 3 earned runs, walked 5, struck out 17, and hit 1 batter. He did not face the Expos in the regular season, and he will face 8, 9, and 10 in the Expos order to begin extra innings. The top of the 8th, Jose Paulino taking strike 1. Paulino 0 for 2 with a fly out to center and a strikeout looking. Takes a ball here. 1-1 is the count. It's Paulino, Weissman, and Oliveira due up. And if anyone gets on the leadoff man, Ryan Patrone. And that is ball 2 down and away, 2-1. Zawatsky last pitch on July 29th against the Bulldogs. Matched his season high in innings with 3, but allowed 4 hits, 3 runs, 1 walk, and struck out 3. Paulino into right field towards the line, and Costello has it for out number 1. So Weissman will get his first at bat. He did come in defensively after the pinch run, after Bond pinch ran for Rincon. So this is Weissman's first at bat of the ball game, and that bounces off of Dushty's glove and to the backstop for ball 1. So all 3 of the runs that Zawatsky allowed this season and 4 of his 5 hits were in his last appearance against the Bulldogs, but that was after a 20-day layoff for him. Oh, he does play, though he is a two-way player, so at least 20-day layoff on the mound, but he is behind Weissman now 2-0. That's in there for a strike, and the count will be 2-1. Weissman played in 14 games and slashed .333, .371, .333. He is taken strike 2 here. No extra base hits, 3 RBIs, and 1 walk to 6 Ks. 2-2 is the count to Weissman. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and a late swing at that, 2 down. So Weissman 0 for 1. Here is Oliveira. He has been hit by a pitch twice tonight out of the number 10 slot. Not sure if you're happy or sad to see Draper out of the game in that regard. Also has stolen the base tonight as Michael. Ooh, just outside for ball 1. Looked like the home plate umpire was about to call a strike, but it is 1-0 to Oliveira. 2-0. In the bottom of the 8th, the Blue Sox will have Leonard, Gabardi, and Costello due up. Cool breeze blowing out towards left field here. Zawatsky with the 2-0, 3-0. And an update here from Orazio Azzarello. The Chiefs have beaten the Americans in Game 1 4-0. So the Chiefs have a 1-0 lead in that best-of-5 semifinal. Game 2 tomorrow night at Morelli. Down the pipe for a strike, 3-1. Zawatsky with the full windup, and the 3-1 bounces to the plate. Oliveira reaches. He is 0 for 0 today, but an OBP of 1,000. Gotta love it. All right, so 2 outs. Oliveira, a tough out at the bottom of the order tonight for the Expos. He's reached base all 3 times without the aid of a hit. 2 hit by pitches, a walk, and a stolen base. And let's see what Patrone can do. Lay down a sac bunt his last time up. He's ahead now 1-0. He's 1 for 2. Single to lead off this ball game, and a fly out to right in between the single and the sac bunt. And clearly something is a miss between Dushney and Zawatsky, and we'll see if they can sort things out. And here comes Jimenez over from third to make sure everything's all right. I'm not sure if it's like a mechanical issue or maybe his glove, or does he want like a warm-up toss or two? Well, no visit from Rick DeAngelis or Pat McGowan or Mark Lear or anything to check on him, so I think it's just something they can handle on their own at the very least. All right, so 1-0, the conference is over without the umpire having to go out to the mound. 1-0 the count to Ryan Petrone, the leadoff man in the Expos lineup. Again, 1 for 2, single fly out to right and a sac bunt. Oliveira is at first after walking with the first 2 retired, and that misses 2-0. Paulino and Weissman were retired with relative ease to begin this inning. Fly out to right and a strikeout, but Oliveira with that walk, and now a hitter's count for Petrone. Zawatsky delivers in there for a strike, 2-1. Petrone will look back at the home plate umpire. It might have been just a little bit low, but that spot right there at the knees, it's been close, but that's been a strike tonight. 2-1, swing and a miss. Strike 2, 2-2 is the count to the Expos leadoff man. Petrone also plays in the Park League for the Boston A's. He's got the A's helmet, and is 2-2 to the Expos leadoff man, the shortstop, with Taveras due up next if he can keep the inning alive. 2-2, fouled off. Do it again at 2-2. Oliveira, again, 0 for 0. Been on base 3 times tonight. At first, 2-2 is the count. Zawatsky delivers. Oof, close, but that's a little high, and it is ball 3. Dush trying to frame it there, but definitely did look a little high there. Didn't bring it down in time, so Oliveira will be off of the pitch. Gentlemen, start your engines. 3-2 payoff to the backstop for ball 4. First and second with 2 down. I mentioned in the last few games of the Blue Sox regular season that an inability to put batters away with 2 strikes and 2 down would be the Blue Sox undoing if they are gonna try and climb back to the top of the ICL mountain. Pat McGowan to have a conference here with the whole Blue Sox infield. All right, conference is over. Petrone reaches on the walk. Here is Taveras, 0 for 3 with a couple of groundouts and a strikeout. Those were all against the Blue Sox starter, Matt Draper, who will get a no decision despite 7 scoreless, 3 hits, all singles, I believe. That is low for ball 1, and it does appear to be more action behind Zawatsky right now in case he can't get out of this one. 1-0 to Taveras. Fouled straight back. The count will be 1-1. Can you get out of this inning without John Batista coming back to the plate? Is the challenge. 1-1 from Zawatsky. Fouled off. Now again, Blue Sox have had some issues last couple of weeks closing out clean innings, finishing off batters with 2 strikes and 2 outs. 1-2 is the count to Taveras. Inside, goes to the backstop, but only Oliveira is going to advance here. Interesting. Guess Oliveira got a late read, and Patron rather got a late read. Oliveira did get to third. So a wild pitch puts Oliveira at third. Runners at the corners, 2-2 the count. And here comes Zawatsky. Oof. Again, close, but those feels like the pitches, that kind of spot at the top of the zone, aren't getting those calls as much as they are at the bottom of the zone. And they just had a pickoff attempt, too, of Patron, but he got back in time. Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, strike three. So Watsky gets out of it. Strands runners at the corners. Go to the bottom of the eighth. Say it with me. Still scoreless. All right, we go to the bottom of the eighth. Just spoke to Brandon Anderson. The lights will go out here at East Boston Stadium at 11. No new inning can start after 10:45. It's 10:08 right now. We'll see if the Blue Sox can put away any of those doubts here. On the bottom of the eighth, as this is grounded and through the wickets of the second baseman, and Leonard is aboard to begin the inning. That's the first error of the ball game. And we actually have a yeah, I guess I was told there's going to be a pinch hitter for Gabardi, but he is actually coming to the plate here. So Gabardi, oh for 1 with a strikeout and a walk. After Leonard reaches on the E4. Squares, gets one down the first base line, fielded by the first baseman who got him. They got him by a step. The slide into first was unsuccessful for Gabardi, but the sacrifice works 3 unassisted. So 1 down, winning run in scoring position. And by the way, I forgot to mention, folks, Dan Shaw is still out there on the mound for the Expos. Got a pinch hitter now for Jeff Costello. 1 out and run in the winning run in scoring position. Taken for strike 1. Down low for a ball. Count is 1-1 to Bosland. Justin Bosland pinch hitting for Jeff Costello. And nobody there to accept a would-be pickoff from Dan Shaw. Boz takes low, and the count is 2-1. 2-1 is the count with one down, a runner in scoring position, the winning run in scoring position, but now Boz takes a strike, and the count is 2-2. Boslin played in 11 games in the regular season, 100, 438, 150. Brushed back by that one and took ball 3. It is 3-2. Boz was 0 for 3 against the Expos with 3 strikeouts on August 1st. That was Dan Shaw. Foul ball. Bosland takes strike 3 called. Another one for Dan Shaw. 2 down. Number 9 slot is 0 for 3 tonight with 2 strikeouts. And here is Max Dushney, 0 for 2 with a strikeout looking and a ground out to second. And Dush takes outside for ball 1. In the top of the 9th, 3, 4, and 5 due up for the Expos. Batista, Paulino, and Soto. I am shocked that the Blue Sox have not tried to get time granted sooner. This is a pivotal point. Shaw, got to get him out of his rhythm somehow. We're in scoring position. Into right field and down for a base hit. Here comes Leonard. The Blue Sox walk it off 1-0 in 8 innings. Max Dushney gets the bath of his life over there at first base and into right field with the RBI single. 2 down in the bottom of the 8th against Dan Shaw. Had been a machine all night long, but Ben Leonard reaching on the error to begin this inning, sacrificed over to second, and despite the called third strike for out number 2, Max Dushney cashes in, and the Blue Sox win 1-0, and they take a 1-0 lead in this best-of-5 semifinals. Game 2, tomorrow night, 8 o'clock first pitch. Field venue to be determined, could be back here at East Boston. If that is the case, we are going to have another audio-only stream, but depending on where we end up playing, we'll let you know. We'll check the Intercity League website for all the information as the Blue Sox win in extra innings, 1-0 in 8. The winning pitcher is Jake Sawatsky. The losing pitcher is Dan Shaw. And Max Dushney with the RBI single with 2 out here in the bottom of the 8th to walk it off. Yes, Bruce. Oh, no, I'm not. Were you going to tell me a stat or something? Or? So Bruce just needed to see something about Jeff Costello here. But while he takes a look at that, we'll thank you folks for watching this presentation of Lexington Blue Sox baseball here on the Blue Sox Baseball Network on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe, like and subscribe, and follow us on the book, The Burb, and The Grand.